What's up, America? This is Kim with Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about tips to help you shoot better. We have a lot of videos about physical things you can do to shoot better, like grip and aiming, but today we're going to talk about the mental side of it. I want to talk about anticipation and also staying positive. So let's get started. Let's say you're at the range and your first shot, or maybe your first shots right after you reload, are always really low. And then all of a sudden, the more you shoot, the more they tighten up and they get better. That's anticipation, because your mind's thinking, this is going to go off, this is going to go off. And then it happens, you're like, that's not so bad. And then you get yourself together. So what I want you to do is go ahead and unload your gun and do some dry fire practice. I want you to have that nice trigger pull where the gun doesn't move at all. Do that several times until you're doing perfectly steady. Then what you want to do is you want to start off with an empty chamber. You want to go ahead and send your slide forward, insert your magazine, and then you're able to dry fire practice. And instead of fully racketing it and putting a round in the chamber, you're going to only half rack it. So it resets the trigger, but there's no round in the chamber. And you're able to keep practicing until you're ready to actually shoot. And then immediately what you want to do is go ahead and fully rack it and press the trigger on a live round. What we're doing is we're training our brain to focus on the mechanics without worrying about this recoil. And then all of a sudden we're going to put a live round in there, and we're going to still focus on the mechanics and not worry about that recoil because it's so quick. Another trick we give people is we call it our Jedi mind trick. And that's getting your brain to think about something else and not focus on that anticipation of the gun's going to go off, the gun's going to go off. And that could be singing the ABCs, counting backwards, counting odd numbers, saying the states, whatever you have to do, say watermelon 10 times to distract your brain. So your brain's like, why am I saying this out loud? I look silly. And you actually don't think about what you're going to do, and you'll actually shoot better in most cases. Another thing you can do before you go to the range to really help is to get some snap caps and either have someone else load them up beforehand, or you can do it way beforehand, and add some snap caps in the middle of your live rounds. It lets you see if you have that anticipation, and also it lets you practice malfunction drills. One thing that Neil and I value a lot is thinking positively. And one of the first things we tell all the students as they arrive is that your competitor is with you, it's you. So don't focus on what other people are doing, just focus on your own performance, because you are your own competitor. Let's say you're at the range and you're doing really well, and all of a sudden your performance starts to decline. Well, we all get tired. That's normal. Everybody wants to get every penny out of their session, but it's always best to leave on a good note. Go ahead and pack it up and leave on a positive note. This is especially important when you're teaching a new shooter. So if you ever have someone who wants you to show them how to shoot, when they start to fatigue, don't continue to push them. You're just going to frustrate them, and they're going to close their mind and not be so open to learning.
I'm just going to jump in here real quick, guys. Here's the thing. This is a mistake that happens all the time. If you don't professionally train people, like that's what you do, if you're not accustomed to, or in the field of some type of training or teaching, if you're not accustomed with a lot of different people, of picking up on people's cues when you're teaching them stuff, it's really not a great idea to take your significant other to the range and try to teach them yourself. It's best if they get introduced by some class. I see this mistake happen a lot, because an untrained person at training or teaching comes in there and says, okay, well, we want to get this person to be able to do this list of things. And so what that person then does, the experienced person, is picks apart this new person, right? Well, your grip isn't right, your sights aren't right, your trigger isn't right, your stance isn't right, all these things that you know that maybe not be correct. As an experienced instructor or teacher, you got to know what to focus on and what to let go. They're going to do a lot of stuff wrong. They're brand new at it. And when they leave after the first time, they're still going to be doing stuff wrong. I mean, let's be realistic. Your spouse, your girlfriend, wife, whomever, daughter, brother, sister, whomever, they didn't sign up for a 6-hour intensive course. They want you to take them to the range, or they agreed to go to the range with you to learn something. And they're probably a little apprehensive or whatever at the beginning. Rather than trying to chip away at all these things they're doing wrong, you got to pick a couple things. So maybe we talk about sights and we just worry about that today. And if we're not putting holes through holes, it's not a big deal. You want them to come back. You want this to be a journey. You want them to have an experience that's enjoyable. And I think that's missed many times when people try to train their folks.
To wrap up staying positive, Neil and I can't stress it enough. I can't tell you how much it's helped us in our relationship and all of our success in life, staying positive. And when you're teaching someone especially, if they start to shut down and have a bad experience, they're not going to learn as much, and they're probably not going to want to come back and do it again. So in all things in life, it's important to stay positive. That's why you'll never see Neil and I fighting with trolls online. If there's bad things happening, we just ignore it. We like to keep our life positive. We like to keep negativity out. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, comment, share. We always love hearing from you guys. We put a lot of work into our videos, so we love hearing that people enjoyed them and that they got things from them. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. Click that bell so you get notified every time we put a video out. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and we put all of our premium content on Patreon. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. I can do this. I'm positive. And then when you're ready, what you want to do is go ahead and send your slide forward. You're going to